Okay, now that we have that edge sanded and it's all nice and pretty and flat, we can start on working on our stitch holes. I got my calipers and I have them just set at just a little bit proud of 1/8 of an inch. I just took them and I rode along the edge to mark where the stitch line's going to be. Then for my stitch hole on the bottom, I like to space it in about 1/width of my chisel on the bottom and do the same thing to the top. And just take it, space it in, and give it a little push. Now what I'm going to do is take my my stitch hole chisels here and just mark it. Just put it against it, give it a little tap. And I'm going to do that all the way down the line here to get an idea where my stitch holes are going to be. I'm going to go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Okay, marking it like that shows me that with the spacing I have, I'm going to come up just a little bit short at the end. But you know what? I can fudge it along this stitch line to get that to come out even. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these stitch holes. And oh, where my chisel go? There it is. But I've got to prop it up like this to get that stitch hole through there straight. And I'm going to continue doing that all the way down. Now what I'll do is just off the last hole, I'll just stretch it just a little bit. And the chisel goes through just far enough to make a proper stitch hole in there. So I'm going to continue that on down and we'll come back when I get those stitch holes put in there. When I get further down on this end, I can lay it flat on my workbench, like from about this point on. But until I get to this point, I need to prop it up to make sure I got those stitch holes straight. In fact, you know what? I'm going to start the other end. I'm going to start down here and line that up and bring my stitch holes on through. All right. Well, we'll be back. Okay, it's got all these stitch holes punched in there. They line up pretty good. Now, next step is going to be to bevel these edges, get some finish on here, and from the looks of it, let's see now. No, I'm going to want to stitch it first, and then do my edge burnishing. So when we come back, we're going to go ahead, bevel these edges, and now I tell you what, I don't really need to show you that part. I mean, it's basic leather work. You're beveling edges and you're touching up the die. So when we come back, after the die is dried, we're going to go ahead and stitch this up. Then, when it's time to stitch it, when it's stitching time, we'll see you then.